What's up guys, Travis here again with Lucky Tackle Box. Whether we're talking about smallmouth bass or spotted bass, both species are continuously on the move, especially during the fall time when they're looking to feed up on all those bait fish. So it's nothing unusual to find fish feeding on a point first thing in the morning and then all the way to the back of a cove by afternoon. So today, we're gonna use Cabin Creek Bait Company's 2.75-inch Junior Express Craw to target these roaming bass. Basically, there's two ways I really like to rig this up this time of the year. Either basically naked, which I call it on a just a little Ned head type weight, and where that's just basically the hook, weight, and the bait. Or what I'm gonna use today, which is basically my favorite way to throw it, is the on a little jig, on a little Finesse jig. So if you can see here, I've got a small little skirt and a 1/4 ounce little football head, and then I've just threaded the little Express Craw on this jig, and I'm ready to go. The reason I like a jig is because I've got a nice little weed guard, and I'm able to really work this thing through the timber and any kind of rocks and all that stuff, because I'm fishing a lot of different areas, and I want to be able to throw this bait and really feel out the bottom. It's all about understanding what's down there, coming over those trees, coming over those rocks. And then the other thing is this jig gives that bait a little bigger profile. So it's a smaller bait, but it's, you know, this skirt flares out a little bit, so it gives it a little bit more of a lively, bigger profile that bass really can see. It looks like it's really, you know, it flares up. It looks like little legs and stuff crawling along, and I think that just increases my chances of getting bit. There we go. Okay guys, a quick note when you're fishing a jig, a lot of times when you're shaking that jig down there and you're slowly working it, you'll just feel one thud and then nothing. It's not like that fish grabs it and takes off. What that is they just choked that in the back of their throat. They just sucked it in, because when they grab a crawdad, they want to make sure that the crawdad can't pinch them and stuff. So they basically suck it into their crunchers in the back of their jaw, and that's what that big thud is. And that means they've got a good bite on that. You want to hurry up, reel down, and set that hook. So I'm making as long a cast as I can, right? I'm right up this gut or along points. Basically, I'm trying to keep moving these banks. So I'm gonna make a cast here, then I'm gonna make a cast down the bank and keep moving this until I find out where these fish are concentrated in during this part of the day. Now I let that bait sink all the way to the bottom, and I'm watching to see if I get hit. If my line pops while it's sinking, that means something just came up and ate it. And then once it hits the bottom, I'm gonna make little tiny hops with that rod tip, okay? Just slowly hopping and scurrying that bait along the bottom. A lot of times people make the mistake, oh, there we go, I just got hit. Something's falling right down there. So a lot of times people make mistakes and they hop that bait too much. And when you really pop that bait, if you give it too big of pops, that's gonna really jump off that bank and it's gonna come down. And you don't want it jumping 5 to 10 feet. You want it just jumping little, you know, 4 to 6 inches off the bottom, shaking it on the bottom a little bit, hitting against the different cover that's down there, and really mimicking what a crawdad or some kind of little scurrying bait fish would be doing down there. You're either gonna feel a thud, or you're just gonna a lot of times feel dead weight. And when that happens, you wanna reel down and set that hook. There we go. Nice. We go, buddy. We were just working that bait over the tree limbs and stuff, and just slowly giving it some hops, and then shaking it a little bit, and we were just, you know, I'm imagining that all this stuff's down underneath the water there, and there we go. Look at that. Nice, healthy little spot. Look how long these guys are. I mean, these things are just little, they're little roaming machines. Oh, he took my little pincher off. But, you know, natural little presentation with this nice little shorter 2.75 inch, little Junior Express. Those little legs are, you know, sticking up. They're, as I'm pulling it or coming over wood, it's kicking as it falls back down. And these little guys, they're little feeding machines. The reason they're roaming around and stuff is they're looking for an easy meal. And when they see this little small profile bait coming along, they think that's exactly the kind of big old steak they're looking for. And it can be a lot of fun. In the fall time, these fish are they're running around, they're trying to eat as much as they can. That means chasing these different schools of shad. And spotted bass and smallies in particular, they really like to move up and down, and they'll travel in packs of 3 to 5, sometimes 10 to 15. And they're just cruising the banks looking for those schools of bait. And when they find them, that's when the feeding frenzy will begin. So what I like to do is I'll start out on a point and I'll start working my way all the way in, and I'll kind of really key in on those main targets. It's real obvious when you come in, you can kind of really just kind of highlight little creek channels coming in, any kind of trees, little secondary points as you move all the way to the back in there. You guys, a quick tip. If you want to know what's down underneath there, look at the shoreline. If you see boulders or trees and things like that, that's what's going to be below there. So when you're hopping this little jig and you're feeling structure down there, look to the shoreline and really understand what you're doing with that bait, and that'll give you an idea of how to work it. Now we're gonna make long casts. That's why we spool this up. When we're fishing this finesse fishing, we wanna be able to make those long casts. That's why we got this nice soft Seaguar finesse line. Really can cast a long ways. There we go. He's coming out. I'm gonna reel down to him. Oh, he was on there for a second. Now guys, if you get bit, this is really important. If you get bit and you let it fall back down if you miss him, there he is. Oh, he's around a tree. Just keep weight on the tree. There he is, came out of the tree. He was around a branch, so I had to keep weight on that fish, but he came out. And what happened is that fish bit twice. It hit it, and before I was able to set the hook, he dropped it. But just let it fall back down. They'll hit it again, man. These spots get real mean. Look at that, great little jig. Look at the stuff behind us, man. Great structure. We found the fish. I'm confident there's gonna be more fish back in here because these fish are just chasing shad. They got a big little belly on them, man. Long little spots. This time of the year, these fish are very healthy. They're running around, feeding a whole lot. And if you give them that small little profile, these spotted bass and smallies, they love that small little type bait. So guys, if you're looking for these roaming fall bass, whether it's spotted bass, smallies, even largemouth, if you downsize, that's really gonna help your chances. And using the little Cabin Creek's Bait Company's 2.75 inch Junior Express Craw is the perfect little bait to do that. And all you gotta do is keep moving down these coves and looking for these little roaming spotted bass, smallies, and you're gonna have some success, and you're gonna have some stories to tell. If you guys enjoyed this video, always give us that thumbs up. I love those thumbs up, and comment below. I always try to make sure I respond to any questions or comments, and I love seeing that interaction. And if you guys want to know any more about the details of any of the gear or any of the lures that we used in this video, check the description box below for a link. Peace out, everybody. Cut. That's a wrap. That's over. So go home. Don't go home. Actually, watch the next video. It should be right here. Go ahead, click it. Click the next video. Check the description box for a link if you want to buy some of these Cabin Creek Express Craws.